Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Darren Weissman, and I want to give you a warm welcome to another Deep Change Dialogue. And our intention for these conversations that we've been having, and they've been really, really extraordinary, really moving. I've so loved connecting with all the people that I've shared this 30-minute deep change with. Our intention is to share an authentic conversation of what's possible when it comes to creating deep change in your life, whether it be your body is speaking to you with symptoms and you've been diagnosed with the disease and you've been doing all kinds of things, yet you still continue to struggle, whether it be the game of life and the losses and traumas and changes that we all go through as we live throughout the arc of our life's journey, what it means to be able to stay present in your power with confidence, finding calm in the eye of the storm is the nature of why we're doing this deep change dialogue. And, you know, if you're looking for tools, if you're looking for strategies, I want to just do a quick commercial. On November 1st, we begin the next cohort of the LifeLine certification program. And if you're looking for a way to reconnect to these patterns that live within your own subconscious mind and change those inherited programs so that you can live authentically within your power with passion and joy and happiness and what moves you, then definitely check it out. You will definitely be happy that you did. So without further ado, I'm with, I would say, top person in my life. I mean, best friend and brother, Dr. Howard Weissman, who I'm so grateful, Howie, that you're here right now. And I just want to just give a quick just preface here. I am who I am today because of this man. So my brother's inspiration for me goes across the board. I mean, I just feel so lucky to have you in my life. And without you, I would not be a chiropractor. I would have not found so many different things in my life, including LifeLine and the name of my radio show that I had for years, The Heart of the Matter. You've been such a massive inspiration on so many different levels. And the fact that as a psychologist who specializes in a lot of different things, I'd love for you to talk about that you decided to become certified in the LifeLine technique and you utilize this as a regular practice.
When I got into clinical psychology, oh boy, there was always an itch. My specialization is in health psychology. So I've been working with people with different chronic illness early on, and it didn't take long in providing a therapeutic holding space for people to realize that cognitive behavioral therapy and different interventions in psychotherapy weren't enough. And I felt a strong desire to be able to learn more. So I followed you in different chiropractic seminars where I learned about NET, TBM, and my thirst for new strategies really continues to this day. But that really was the catalyst. As well as conversations we had early on after martial arts training, where we'd go next door and we'd talk about different ways in which trauma affects the mind and the body, and what might be new ways of processing that energy to a more adaptive resolution. So that's really, I think, the heart of what moved me. It's a very thoughtful process for me because as a licensed clinical psychologist, there's a frame, there's a relationship that there's certain ethical standards. And so there's certain protocol. I mean, even I'm an expert in using EMDR, eye movement desensitization reprocessing. And even with that, I have to be very thoughtful about going from my chair to right next to my client and putting my hands on their hands to create a bilateral stimulation or a rapid eye movement. to process traumatic material. The same dynamic, which turns out to be not that different, goes on when I'm talking to a client about utilizing the LifeLine technique. So I start with a conversation where I invite them to explore, if they're open and curious, to explore other ways to process what is going on right now. And it doesn't take, most of my clients are very receptive. I mean, some of my clients are very traditional. They come to me for a very specific need. A lot of those clients, we don't talk about LifeLine. They're not there for anything out of the traditional framework. What I am so passionate about, though, is those that are really open to expand their consciousness. And in that framework, we explore the infinite, which the LifeLine fits into beautifully. And it's a brief conversation. Once I have their consent, I demonstrate the power of applied kinesiology, and we start a conversation that is different than the other modalities that I have. What's wonderful about the LifeLine technique for me, and using it with my clients, is that there are, and I've been doing what I do for 29 years. When I come really up close and personal with complex traumatic memory, and a person is in a state of hyper arousal, where they're in a fight flight state, where anxiety is super high levels of overwhelm, there is a need to regulate that emotional content. And what I've experienced, sometimes even more than EMDR, it goes back and forth. They're very close in terms of their power and effectiveness. But what I've noticed is that bringing in LifeLine during key pivotal moments of trauma resolution very quickly neutralizes the nervous system to get them to a calmer, cooler, more collected and connected state, where they then can be consciously participating in the trauma resolution. You get too much hyperarousal, or you get too much hypoarousal where they're frozen, well, then they can't truly participate. What I love about the LifeLine is it keeps them in that regulated zone, in that window of tolerance where we can do magic.
You know, those people that this has inspired a curiosity in, definitely click on the link, check out what's going on November 1st. You don't want to miss it. If it's something that resonates with you, you'll be grateful that you did. And if not, when the timing's right, if ever, then that's beautiful as well.